Yes, I'd like to direct this to Dr. Nelson as well. Sorry about that, Dr. Maybe Rob, maybe I can't. I'd like to explore this notion of a pattern that's doing a lot of work in our innate capacity to connect patterns and methodological naturalism generally. In this sort of opinion piece you distributed to us just today, you say the real question we should be asking is why hold to methodological naturalism? So it just seems to me, and probably to many others, that there's an obvious answer to that, and basically it's because it's been a tremendously fruitful research program, okay, to try to explain things without appeal to miracle. It's been enormously impressive and fruitful, whereas the program of explaining things by appeal to miracles has had a, let's call it a mixed history at best, okay? Arguably absolutely no success, no fruitfulness, okay? Now, you yourself grant that our common sense, intelligent design faculty for detecting is fallible. Sometimes archaeologists can detect design and we don't, and so on. So here's another example. It's non-biological, so it's not sort of question-begging for present purposes. I tell you, I just checked, I Googled today to make sure it wasn't just that science had passed me by. But the ring structure of Saturn has, hundreds, maybe even thousands of successive rings. And no one understands why that should be. Now, I take it, again, being an outsider in biology, I know I tend to be more engaged with physics, but it can look to the outsider as though you're saying, look, there's this stuff we can't explain in biology, so we should immediately move to this incredibly fruitless research program from the incredibly fruitful research program. I feel like, somebody could say, the rings of Saturn, there's pattern, there's complexity, must have been a miracle. Why don't publishers allow miracle attributing papers in physics journals about that? Well, it's certainly possible. Everyone grants that. I think somebody a straw man the way you take methodological naturalism to somehow preclude allowing the possibility of design. It just seems like there's no particularly good reason to abandon the most successful intellectual enterprise in human history just because there's a few things we can't explain at present. So I'll let you respond.
I'd like to begin with your analytical cut between natural regularity and miracle. Do you take that to be a sound analytical cut? In other words, if something's not a natural regularity or a natural process, it's a miracle.
I'm using the term miracle in a way that I take it to be, whatever sense you're referring to when you say non-natural explanation.
Okay, let's stop there. We're agents, we're not. Now if we transcribed our conversation right now in the English prose, it's a clear pattern, it could be encoded as a bit stream. What's going on between us is not miraculous. After all, here we are, we're having a conversation. But neither is it explicable by any known natural regularities or processes. To explain what's going on right now, we have to refer to Corey Jewell, agent, irreducible agent, Paul Nelson, irreducible agent. Agency, let me finish. Agency is part of the toolkit of science, except when the cause implicated is a member or someone other than a member of Homo sapiens. So what's the problem there? The problem is not that we can't detect agency, we do it all the time. And it's not miraculous, it's everyday reasoning. The problem is that the agent implicated in the origin of the first cell, or the origin of the Cambrian explosion, or these other puzzling events, raises theological and philosophical problems that we tried to push aside in the 19th century. And the fact is, reality pushes back. I have barely scratched the surface of problems in evolutionary theory. Sahotra said it explains a lot. Well, let me tell you, the distance between what evolution successfully explained in the 19th century and what it explains now has been growing steadily. There are case after case after case of anomalies that have been sitting on the unsolved problem shelf for decades. I submit under those kinds of circumstances, it's fruitful to try a different metaphysical explanation to see what might happen. And it's not resorting to miracle. Miracle is a pejorative. The fact is, agency, intelligent causation is real. We know it's real. We detect it. The question is, what are going to be the rules on how we are allowed to use it?